Hello, I'm Dr. Archer Crosley, and welcome to Real World Pediatrics. So, today I wanted to talk to you about a book I read a long time ago, and maybe you've read it as well. It is entitled Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It was written in 1946, and it is still relevant today because of the divisiveness that our modern media sows upon people. So, here's the book right here, and I'll put it on the screen for you. And in this book, what the author is trying to say in so many words is that you can find good or bad in any one individual, and that you can't put people in simple little categories. You can't demonize an entire group of people based upon their ethnicity, race, religion, or whatever group they belong to. To do so is lazy thinking. Now, if you read this book, the author's words are going to pay off for you and your family. You're going to save a lot of time from going down false pathways or getting indoctrinated into a culture of hate. It's really easy to get swayed by the media. One thing the media is good at is whipping people up into a state of emotion and anger about some group of people somewhere. Don't allow that to happen. It can destroy you, it can destroy your job, it can destroy your family. You and your family are only as good as the knowledge you choose to believe in. Now, before I talk too much about the book, I want to show you this other item that I have in my possession. It's a little travel brochure, an invitation that I received from the medical school I attended. I want you to look at this closely. It is entitled Cambodia, Vietnam, and the Mekong River. Now, you can see here that my school is trying to get me to pay some money to go on a tour of Vietnam and Cambodia. Isn't that delightful? On day number 10, it says, enjoy a tasty breakfast on board as the ship departs Phnom Penh and begins a full day of sailing. This afternoon, cross the border and arrive in Tan Chau, Vietnam, a pleasant town with diverse Chinese, Kin, and Khmer communities. Now, this may not be meaningful to you, but it is to me because I grew up during the Vietnam War. I look at this brochure, and the only thing I can think of is what the hell we fought the Vietnam War for. Our government was all on board in fighting this war when I was a boy, and so were all the corporations and even the major universities. Our leaders told us back then, time and time again, that this area of the world was essential for democracy. And consequently, a lot of Americans went over there and died, 58,000 of them to be exact. Our government even told us that the people we were fighting, the communists, were godless heathens who had to be tamed and swayed over to democracy. So what happened? It's not as if we won the war and converted them. Aren't they still the same way? Well, apparently they aren't, because our institutions today have trade relations with Vietnam. And as you can see, our universities, like the University of Kansas, try to get Americans to take trips over there. Apparently, the Vietnamese are now people just like us, trying to get through the day. They aren't godless heathens anymore. Or maybe they never were. Maybe that was just a government-controlled media creation designed to whip us into a state of war. Which brings us back to Mr. Frankl's book and what he was trying to say. Viktor Frankl spent much time in a German concentration camp. In his book, he tells us the truth about the concentration camp. What stands out to me is when he states that some of his fellow Jews in that concentration camp were nastier than the German guards in their treatment of Jews. Frankl even tells of a German commandant who wouldn't allow the Jews in his camp to be mistreated. That's truly staggering. That goes against everything that we've ever heard in mainstream media and in the movies. But Viktor Frankl was there. And in that catastrophe that he went through, what he learned was that you can't put simple labels on people because they belong to a group. You can't say that this group is all good or that group is all bad. Now, as I say, it's easy to allow the government and the media to make you think that, especially in a wartime situation. But that doesn't make it so. So think about that the next time you start to go all crazy about some issue or some war that the government wants you to fight. Think about this brochure. Think about the 58,000 men who died in Vietnam. The next time the government wants you to fight some war against godless heathens.